It's really unfortunate that they didn't get to show some of the scenes where he actually did that earlier on. So where are we going with this? Interesting to see what this actually looks like, because I don't play Mahjong, and I had no idea what this was supposed to... I had no idea what to envision for this when I was reading the VNs. He's ready, he's going in. He's so close. What do you mean? Didn't you see that before? Haven't you seen that happen before? Akasaka! What the I did not expect Akasaka to be here. This is probably gonna look really weird to newcomers, since he hasn't even been set up at all. This dude comes out of nowhere in terms of newcomers. Oh, okay, we're gonna show it. That's Power Bulge. That was a sharp cut. Holy shit. What the fuck? What? This is not what I expected. Not exactly trapped inside, but that's not what he said. He just said that she's in there. Some jank animation. Okay. What the f- That's hilarious. Did not expect to get like a montage. Thought we were gonna get 5 more arcs. Why? Why would we stop it there? What the fuck? I'm not entirely sure how to talk about this episode, or even where to begin. The actual plot of the episode had basically one beat. Emphasis on the last word. Gore, gore, and more gore. Dean anime fans can shut up now, you got your fix. But in all seriousness, this episode was exceptionally brutal, and I believe it was meant to put us in Rika's headspace. There is a little metagaming, or what we call in the biz, trolling, and that 5 more loops mirrors the 8-arc format of the original story and the sister series Umineko When They Cry, just to have all of them burn through in an episode. Regardless, it seems like Rika gaining the ability to remember her deaths hasn't helped at all, as they are committed by different culprits seemingly randomly. Those of us who have experienced the original may note that the curse was not this sudden or random, and that the perpetrators were not always raving lunatics reveling in violence. Thus I believe the nature of the curse to be different in this series. The thing about this episode was that it was hilarious, and that's not a mark against it. Horror and comedy can go very well together, and they combine to illustrate Rika's despair at her fate and her disassociation during all of this. Old fans might recall a certain poem from the original. Also, Satoko still sus. This is the Satoko sus segment. We see an image of her staring at the burning house from afar, and we don't get to see the look on her face. And then at the Angel Mart scene, we see her lying down, presumably dead, but we don't see any injury on her head, and the only blood looks like it could have come from other people. It's not that much. The theorizing I'm about to do dips a toe into spoilers for the original, so if you are a newcomer to Higurashi, please close the video or skip to the timecode on screen for the conclusion segment. Why the hell does Rika enjoy life at St. Lucia's Academy? Nothing good has ever come out of that place in Higurashi, or in Umineko for that matter, and it's even weirder when you consider that the Shrine Maiden Rika would be entering a location with a heavy belief in a different god, and Hanyu would likely be significantly weakened if not outright erased, going by information in supplemental material and Umineko. I'm beginning to think that this is a different Rika, Why would she react so strongly to Keiichi bringing up the Neko-san story in Watatamashi when she gave it previously and knows about fragment recollection? Why does she remember Keiichi telling her about tearing through fate like wet paper in an arc she should have forgotten? And if she does remember, why is she so surprised to see him fooling around with Oishi when that exact same Tsuame Gaichi scene was in the original? I don't know, it seems kinda sus to me is all I'm saying. As I mentioned before, the curse or rather syndrome seems to work differently this time. Some people suspect that people are being injected by Hinamizawa syndrome, but personally I'm not sure it even is Hinamizawa syndrome, much less the same kind. It definitely rubs me the wrong way, as this is not like Ryukishi 07 would ever write mental illness, but with sudden outbursts of complete malicious insanity. The only case that got close was Shion, but that was after a long setup and a clear train of thought, at least in the visual novels. In what universe would L5 Keiichi laugh maniacally while bonking his friends? The only wrench in this theory is that Mion and perhaps Kimiyoshi seem to be exceptions, acting more similar to how we would expect of L5 individuals. I truly don't know how to feel about this episode. Perhaps it's influenced by the fact that I'm watching weekly instead of binging, but personally it felt kinda eh? I was never a Higurashi fan for the gore, so to get an entire episode of that and not much else, at the very least did nothing to make me particularly happy with it. Though I think it will be put into perspective with the later episodes as we progress. There's one suggestion that I want to propose. What if the date at the end of the ED, June 22nd, is actually the date that she dies in her final loop? Or at least, conceived final loop. I'm gonna leave you guys with that one. That's all I had for this one. I go by Tasty Nachos, and you go by